Okay, so now we're ready to move into our first set of exercising with lunge lining. Now I'd like to introduce my mom, who's going to be helping me today. And I'd also like to introduce a new tool that we're going to be using, a stirrup leather. Now what we're going to be doing with this stirrup leather is we're going to use it as a balance strap. So we're going to put it right around the horse's neck. And the purpose of this stirrup leather is so whenever we're playing with our balance, instead of grabbing the reins and pulling on the horse's mouth and affecting their balance, we're going to ask our rider to grab the stirrup leather. This is just so if they need help with balance, they have it, but yet they're not relying on the horse's mouth, because that's one thing we don't want to teach our riders. It's also, when we're working on these exercises, extremely important to have a good handler, because whenever we first start to learn our balance and figure things out like that, we try to eliminate all the distractions so you can focus on just your balance, that you don't have to focus on your horse's pace or rhythm or steering, which is why we put them on the lunge line. So it's very important to have a good handler to control your horse and to lunge your horse, to keep them at a good pace, at a nice rhythmic walk or trot. It's also very important to have a horse that is bond-proof, meaning that if the rider does get a little off balance, a horse is not going to mind. A very quiet horse, the lazier the better. A horse that isn't spooky if something happens or something blows over. That's very, very important, because you don't want our rider to be worrying about that. We want them to be able to completely focus on their balance. So, I'd like to go back to the tools quickly and briefly. It's very, very important to have a cotton lunge line. Soft on your hands, no rope burns. Very, very important. Also, whenever you're attaching the lunge line onto the horse, it needs to go up through the bit and over the head to the other side. As you can see, this is very important, so it applies equal pressure on both sides of the mouth. It's also very important to use a very soft, subtle bit. You don't want to use any funky contraptions. This is just a plain, soft snaffle. Also, it either needs to be a full cheek or a D, to make sure if something happens, the bit has no chance of going through the mouth. And also, attaching the lunge line over the head helps assure of that. Also, a lunge whip is very important, but you need to make sure that you're very good with your lunge whip and you're not going to accidentally ask your horse to move forward when you're not expecting it to, because that could very easily affect the rider on here. One of the biggest mistakes is that people will attach the lunge line directly to the inside side of the bit. That is a very huge mistake, because if the horse is to spook or run to the outside, the bit will go through their mouth, which is very bad and is harmful and not a fun thing to experience. So make sure you go through the first side of the bit, over the head to the second side of the bit. Very, very important. We have our stirrup leather. We have a lunge line, we have a good handler, and a quiet horse. Now, what I like to do with most of my riders is take my reins and knot them. The reason that I do this is so it doesn't tempt them to grab onto the reins. And it also keeps them from sliding around, possibly going into the horse's feet, etc. So a nice knot, a good foot up the horse's neck. I have my balance strap. Now the first thing you want to do with the rider is, let them walk around a little. Let them get the rhythm. Let the handler have some practice. Very important, Get comfortable with their environment. Prior to even putting the horse in the lunge line, you want to make sure your horse is quiet, relaxed with its environment, and you want to go through the Taji checklist to make sure your horse is prepared to take care of the rider focusing on their balance. So once we're feeling okay with this, we're doing pretty well, just at the walk, we'll stay at the walk. And the first exercise we do is posting, simply going up for a stride and down for the stride. Now with the young or beginner rider, this is a very, very good time to teach them diagonals, because all they focus on is where their own body parts are. Their horse is taken care of and everything. So this is a really good time to let them focus on learning their diagonal. And a diagonal is when you go up with the outside shoulder. So up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So diagonal is when you go up with the outside shoulder. That's very good time for a young rider to learn this. So this is the first exercise, posting at the walk. Making sure that your leg is not moving when you go up and down. Now what we do with all of our exercises is we make our riders put their hands out to the side to make sure that they are truly balanced. And it's also important to relax your knee and to close your calf, getting the longest base support possible. So now, once our young rider or our rider has worked on this, what we'll do is this gives them a good feel of the rhythm. So now, we'll ask them to come back to the seat, make sure their hands stay out to the side, really working on balance. We're going to stand up 2 and sit 2. Stand up for 2 strides, sit for 2 strides. Stand up for 2 strides, sit for 2 strides. And that looks like this. This also teaches them to hear the horse's rhythm, which is really, really good because you want them to maintain a good rhythm. Do, 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 do. So that's very, very good. So a way that you could do as a trainer or a handler, which would be very good, is have them say up, up, down, down, such as this. Up, up, down, down. 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 So that's very important so the rider can start to feel that rhythm. Making sure they always keep their hands out to the side. So having a feel for rhythm is really important for all riding. And it's very good. And this is an awesome way to introduce rhythm to a rider. So once we've done our posting, post to, sit to, our third exercise is taking our right hand, reaching down to our right toe. Taking our left hand, reaching down to our left toe. This is just a good balance feel. It's also good for the rider to kind of feel the middle of the horse. So we're going to do it one more time, a couple more times. Right hand, right toe, left hand, left toe, right hand, right toe, left hand, left toe. Now you might do this a little slower. You might go right toe, left toe, right toe, and back to the center. Making sure that every time they switch toes, they go back to the center of their horse. They can get a nice feel of where that center is. Now the fourth exercise is very similar. Taking our right hand, going to our left toe, taking our left hand, going to our right toe. And then coming back to the center. Once again, right hand, left toe, left hand, right toe. Right hand, left toe, left hand, left toe. Now our fifth exercise is taking our nose and going to the horse's neck. So we're going to slide our hips back, shoulders a little forward, nose to mane. Trying to look up and look right through the horse's ears. Now the importance of this exercise is it is the start of the jumping position, but it's also important for the young rider to feel that any weight they put forward, they must support and put back. For example, if I go lean forward, if I just lean forward, my leg comes up, and I'm very unbalanced. And as you can see, it affected what my horse did. Now, if I lean back, and all I do is lean back, my legs kind of go in front of me, and that affects my horse also. So what's important for the young rider to realize and feel that if I put weight forward, I must put weight back. So I'll slide my hips back in order to touch my horse's neck and still stay balanced, which is very, very, very important. So once again, my nose goes forward, but my hips go back to balance out the weight. And this also, you want to keep in mind that you want to always be stretching down through your heel and closing your calf, having the longest base support you possibly can. So the last exercise is standing up in a 2-point. Getting up out of the saddle, closing your calf, relaxing your knee, sliding your hips back just a hair. Now, a 2-point is similar to the athletic stance, where you can be here and you can be here. Always trying to remember to relax your knee and close your calf. Now we'll do the exact same thing in the 2-point by putting our chin to their neck and sliding our hips back and then lifting up. And you don't want to be pinching with your knee because you always want to be closing your calf, having the longest base support you can. So, once we've done all our exercises at the walk, then we will continue them at the trot. Now, what I'm going to do, and I do this with a lot of the reins, I'll take a double-sided clip, and I'll clip it to the reins, the loop that the knot forms, and then I will clip it to the stirrup leather. What this does is this makes sure that the reins don't go over his head. Now, say I'm working with a very young rider that's really focusing on their balance. I might say, it's okay, grab the stirrup leather. Or say they feel unbalanced, teach them to grab the stirrup leather or grab mane, but not grab the reins. Now we are ready to trot. Now, same thing with the trot. It's a very good time to learn the diagonals. So I start with my first exercise of posting. Putting my hands out to the side, going up with the outside shoulder. Up, down, 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 up, down. This is a very good time for the riders to learn, to post and to learn the diagonals. So now I'll go right into exercise number 2. Keeping my hands to the side. Up, 2, down, 2. Up, 2, down, 2. Up, 2, down, 2. 2, down, 2. Up, down, down. 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 Up, down. This is really good for the rider to feel that rhythm. Keep them going. Come on, get up. So now we can go into exercise number 3. Take my right hand, go to my right toe. Lazy Jacko. Take my right hand, go to my right toe. Take my left hand, go to my left toe. Now this is also a very good point for your rider to try to think about looking straight. Always looking up, no matter what you're doing. Right toe, left toe, right toe. Come on. So now we can go ahead right into exercise number 4. Right hand to left toe, left hand to right toe, right hand to left toe, left hand to right toe, and continue. Now you can go ahead right into exercise number 5. Our nose to the mane, sliding our hips back to balance us out. Chin to the mane, hips back, down and up, down and up. Really feeling that balance. You know, when you put something forward, you have to put something back. When you put something back, you have to put something forward. Remembering to try to always keep the hands out to the side. Now, our last exercise is going to be getting up in a 2-point. The slight bend at our hips, a slight bend at our knees, a nice solid 2-point. This is really, really good for a rider. Relaxing your knee, closing your calf, stretching down through your heel, lifting your upper body, looking straight ahead, arms out to the side, feeling all those body parts balance over each other. This is at the heart of balance. And then what I can do is I can come back to my seat. I can ask my rider to look up, sit up, and our horse comes back to the walk. So what I'm going to demonstrate one more time so I'm going to demonstrate going into my 2-point, putting my hands out to the side, stretch down through my calf, down to my heel, the lowest base of support possible, relax my knee, look straight ahead. Really good. And now what I'm going to ask my riders to do is go back to the sit, and in order to stop a horse using balance, which is very important teaching at a very young age because it's very important, so I'm going to ask my riders to look up, chin up, chest up, belly button up. So now I'm going to do that. I'm going to look up, chin up, chest up, and my horse comes back to the walk. that is how I would like to teach my riders to bring their horse, is to slow them down, to bring them back to a walk or to a lower gait, instead of just instantly grabbing those reins. That is so very important. So I'm going to demonstrate that one more time. And that is how important and what a little change in my balance, how much that affected my horse. So I'm going to ask our riders to go back to the seat, and then I'm going to look up, sit up, and my horse is at a walk. That is why balance is so important, because that little itty-bitty change in my balance made my horse walk. So a horse that's very, very good for this kind of work is a horse that is sensitive and feels every shift of balance. Now here at Carousel Farm, we break all of our horses that we raise and train. And we teach all of our horses that every single time we shift our balance, it means something. And for him, it means to walk. And that's so very important. You want a horse that knows that when you lean forward or you shift or you sit up, that means to walk, Most horses, whenever you sit up and look up, it puts them on their haunches, puts them on their hocks. And whenever a horse goes in their hocks, they will often rock back and slow down. So if you don't reinforce it with legs, so if I sit up and close my leg, he will continue forward. But if all I do is sit up, most horses will come back to a walk and slow down. And this is the key to how we ride all of our horses bridleless. Even if you are a beginner rider or an advanced rider, it is very important to every once in a while go back to the lunge line so you can truly focus on your balance. Because when somebody has control over the horse, you can have full attention and full focus on your balance. So this concludes our lunge lining set. Now we will be moving to trail riding and field work for improving balance.